I think the complexity of the series on those topics is what makes it very compelling.
I agree. And knowing that you have a writer behind you, like Mark Boal, who's really comfortable in telling with telling stories with such backgrounds like military and geopolitical, it really helps. And it means that I feel I can focus on my character and know that somebody else understands the bigger picture.
And I think also following on from that, each character is going through their own, they carry their own baggage through the story, and it's different for each one. It crisscrosses through, the Spanish speaking cast. Then we hit back to Washington. It's constantly moving, and so what it provides is a canvas of very interesting things. That means you never get a moment to relax. You're always following these stories and realizing how they're interthread with each other, and that's a great story. If you're always on the edge of your seat, and there's so many stories that are crisscrossing very delicately, sometimes very violently, but that is what a good story is about, and that's why this journey was so immersive, and I think that's what you see now on the screen is a very complex fabric of storylines that affect each other.
No effort at all.
I probably have to do the most.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I am Welsh, British. I've done American very many times, but I'd never done this Southern accent before, and so I put a lot of work in before we came to Atlanta, where we started the project, and then we had an incredible dialect coach that came with us on the journey. She was there every day, wherever we were, and I would work with her on my time off in the evenings. I wanted to do a good job, and it's not easy when you take a different accent and you want to find the nuance in the dialect, and and I'm surrounded by Americans, and I always want to impress them, and it's quite an exposing thing to do, taking on somebody else's accent and doing it for such a long time.
Well, my joke is that I was raised in the American South, and I was trained at Juilliard, and I felt like Luke had a better Southern accent than me. So
Best compliment
kudos,
ever.
I know.
I'll pay you later.
Amazing.
Well, Cynthia, our dialect coach, she's kind of like a special forces operator on, when it comes to the dialect coaches. So she was our rock.
Yeah.
She was really good. Oh my God. It was a completely new experience for me. And that was also one of the reasons why I was dying to play this character. It was a very different character than I'd ever played before. Very complex guy, a guy that comes from privilege and still chooses to join the absolute pinnacle of the American military. He's a bit arrogant, a bit, and somewhat controlling. And whereas maybe in the military that serves him well, because he somehow likes to control the battlefield, and that serves him. In his marriage, that's not really working well for him. So this was that's all to say that this was a completely new experience for me, and one that I was dying to take on.